So the present and the future doesn't look very exciting right now, does it? With all the instability that we're seeing all across the world, especially in the United States, you're also probably feeling that there's something that you're about to miss. Like a window is closing, like the world is changing too much, too fast. And if you don't take action and make something happen quickly, you may be doomed. That's at least how you feel, or a lot of people feel right now. And let me tell you something, there is a part of truth in this collective feeling that we're all kind of like, or a lot of people are sensing it right now. For most of modern history, you could drift, you could choose wrong, you could waste years, and eventually you could recover. I'm not saying that the system was perfect, was far from it, but you were able just to zigzag a little bit and just drift from years. And sometimes you would end up in a stable situation, at least with a stable job. You were able just to like pay your rent, pay your bills, not live in luxuries, but at least you were just able to like fall into a somewhat stable place. That sense right now is completely gone. A lot of people feel this, but just can't explain it. It's safe to say that optimism isn't really going around. And people who are not really political and are not really paying attention to what's going on in the world feel this as well. The air feels heavy. There's a feeling of instability combined with urgency. Most people are not waking up and just saying that they're excited about the future. They're waking up and just kind of like uncertain of what's going on in the world, what's going on with their lives. All credentials don't feel durable anymore. Stable careers don't feel guaranteed anymore. Middle positions don't feel like they're being improved. They're actually getting erased. And since we find ourselves in this situation where time feels distorted and progress is less predictable, people are kind of like becoming very anxious and they're rushing into doing something because they have a feeling that if you don't do something before things solidify, they feel that they're going to be left behind. Like they don't want to be in the wrong layer when things harden. And let me tell you something, if you've been feeling that recently, you are not wrong. If you don't build leverage now, you may not get another chance. And I'm not telling you this just for you to be scared or for you to panic, but you have to know that time is running out and nothing will ever be the same. The old world logic isn't coming back. Expect more layoffs, more instability, and a complete change on how we make money and live our lives on a collective level. So in life, we're all in motion. We're all moving towards something. We either like it or not, we either do something or not, we're moving in a direction. Now, a lot of people just feel, or most people feel, that they're moving in the wrong direction and they're super lost about what are the heck they're supposed to do. And we're going just to get into that in a little bit, but I want to tell you something that may bring you a little bit of hope. Stability is becoming harder to reach inside the old status quo, while a new path is opening at the same time. The path isn't simple or guaranteed, but it's still more attainable than people realize. Because there's something that you have to keep in mind. What used to take years now is taking months. What used to take a whole team of people to achieve, now it can achieve just by one person, you, the correct systems, the correct automations, maybe just one more person, and that's it. So it is harder to stay inside the system, yes, but it's also easier to build something on your own right now, independently. And I put the practical side of this into a PDF where I expose my workflows, the tools that I use, and how I'm adapting to the AI change that is coming. Link in the description. So the part that most people miss is that AI accelerated something that it was already underway. The shift from institution-centered stability to individual-centered stability. So that's why these changes feel so personal to you, even though it's a systematic change. We're all connected somehow. So yes, never before in history individuals had this much power or this capability before just to build something independently. So not everything is bad. One person can now do what once required teams, capital, and institutional permission. Distribution no longer requires gatekeepers. You can reach global markets from anywhere on Earth. Your ability to solve problems matters much more than a degree or pedigree. And let me tell you this, pretty much everyone is feeling this urgency. Entrepreneurs, large corporations as well. And taking all of this into consideration, people are rushing so much because early positioning is crucial for the changes that are coming. They know that once things harden, once things solidify, upward mobility hardens and advantages kind of like lock in, right? And late entrants, the people who came in later who didn't adapt to what it's coming, they just get the shorter end of the stick. So both groups are responding to the exact same signal. Whatever comes next will reward those who arrive early, and at the same time will punish those who waited. Because every single time that industries collapsed before, or we saw a big change into the economic system, it left a bunch of people behind. But whatever it is coming, is supposed to, it seems like, and it most likely will be much and much worse. So people are feeling that. So the divide that I see right now is between the ones who are positioning themselves to the ones who are not. So for those who want to cling to the old container, they will struggle. They are not gonna have a good time. Now, for the ones who wants to adapt, the path is still not easy, but it's open. Peter Drucker, who was a consultant and educator who I like a lot, said something very true about what's happening right now. Peter Drucker warned decades ago that the central economic challenge of the future would not be labor, but knowledge applied to itself. His underlying message was simple. When productivity comes from thinking rather than machinery, individuals, not institutions, become the primary unit of leverage. That prediction right now is fully active. So what you have to do in transitional and in between periods like this is just trying to look less at external inventory and more into internal inventory. And I'm not talking only about what business should start. I'm talking about, first, what do you already know how to do? Do you have any skills or things you know how to solve? Can you explain something clearly that others find confusing? You do have internal competence and skills that you can use, whether you realize it or not. You can help a specific group of people with, first, skill, output, distribution, and leverage as well of that distribution. And even if you want to insist that you do not have any skills, well, you can learn one. How about that? As long as you can, number one, compound a skill that you have into a system that you can automate. Two, that there is a market for it. And three, that you can deliver it either physically or digitally. As long as you make sure that you can do those three things, most likely you're going to be okay. Stop confusing your job with your value. That is something that I talked before in my last video. People confuse their job title. People confuse what they used to do before for work with the value that they can provide. If you have to perform before in a job, a specific service or specific skill that you were able to help, you are able to provide that skill for a group of people. Now, you may be hearing myself say this, and a lot of people also as well, and you may feel like overloaded, right? Overwhelmed, like what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this information? Where am I supposed to get started? And this part is challenging because humans are complex creatures. When they don't have clarity about something, they completely freeze. If they have too many unknowns, the decision making that they have, it totally collapses. They cannot move. And when they hear so many people telling them things that they probably should do, for example, learn how to start a business, start learning about AI, how to automate like different workflows, start doing this and this and that, they might just know exactly that they need to do those things. But most of the time, what ends up creating this is paralysis. People just don't move to any direction. And I really do not want to do that for you. So I will tell you this, the position you're in today is a position you want to improve. So don't try to answer everything at once. What should I do? What industry? What platform? What skill? What will still work in 5 years? What fits my personality? What if I choose wrong? That is really an impossible burden that is really just going to get you stuck. So you need orientation. And that's exactly why I work one-on-one for people. You know, if you want to just get information about my programs, link in the description. More than orientation, which it will definitely help you, you need to cut the noise and think from a position of clarity and stability as well. So let's bring this as a scenario. Let's say that you're an average man, average woman, 25 to 35 years old, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, that you work average jobs, right? You probably work at customer service, you probably work at a factory, you probably work at white collar jobs, you probably just work at average service jobs out there. If this is your case, you don't have a problem that you have nothing to offer. So let me tell you that right now. What you have to do is just get out of the mindset that the experience that you have is just tied to a job title. That mismatch right there is what creates the paralysis. And I'm going just to tell you something before you even go into trying to figure out what is the path that you should take. You need to be stable first. When someone is lost and unstable, trying to figure out the purpose or find the right path is ineffective and counterproductive. So the correct order is this: stability first, direction second. You need to make sure that you have a job or income, water, food, internet, roof over your head, and something very important as well, peace of mind and peace in your home. If you don't have peace in your home, it is very hard to focus on a side project that you're going to be taking. If you don't have any of those things yet, do not even bother about what is the path that you should take to improve your life and to adapt to the changes that we're seeing in the world. You cannot stress on what you can do with your life while being in survival mode. You need a bit of stability to find flow and momentum. So even if you're able to find the typical boring, calm, chill stability where you have some money coming in either for your job or you're driving Uber or whatever it is that you're doing that is able to pay your rent, that you're able to have enough food for yourself and your family, and that you can have peace in your home. So that alone right there shift your posture from reactive to deliberate. All right, so assuming that you have all of these things in place, right? If you don't have it in place, start taking care of them. If you do have them in place and you have the mental stage to pursue something, okay, where do you start? You have to start asking yourself what you can offer. What can you be useful for? What is something that you can actually be useful for? So are you able to fix a problem? Are you able to just improve a situation for a group of people, for somebody? If you can solve a problem, people will pay for it. You can position it online and you can learn all of these things and you're willing and able to take certain actions, you are going to be able to adapt and you can just maybe not only adapt but thrive and over the next 10 to 15 years. So in your life right now, you have to look into three things. The cash flow that you have, right? Like how much money you have to invest into something. Even though, you can start a lot of these things that I teach right now, like with little to no money, you will still need a little bit, right? And most people have nothing after they pay everything. So you have to consider just the cash flow that you will have. Like, is your life really a big mess right now? Do you feel right now like you are in a situation in your life where you can take decisions in cold and you're able to have certain stability that would allow you to do this? And the third one is the opportunity cost. You must ask how much risk I can afford right now, how long I can go without income, how many hours a week do I have to give something new. And I'm going to tell you something that you may not like so much, is that you have to be willing and able to work on something for a certain amount of time that is not going to pay you off right away. This is how this works. This is how the world works. This is how building a business works. This is how building financial independence works. If you do not have nothing, if you're starting from nothing, it takes a while for you to build something. Now, it doesn't take that much time. It definitely takes a lot less time than before. A lot of people just can build something and it's just a matter of months. It all depends on you. Yes, the window is real. Yes, the pace is faster. But rushing blindly is how people lock themselves into the wrong layer, not how they escape it. So yes, everyone is rushing right now. You should definitely move. You should definitely move as much as possible and as fast as possible. But clarity has to come first. Stability needs to come first. And I'm not saying that you have to make a lot of money for this. I'm saying that you have to at least be stable in a place where you can make the right decisions. It is very hard to build something when you're stressed all the time, when your health is a mess, when your life is a mess, when your house is a mess, when you don't have any money, when you're completely unstable, when you're completely just like a chicken with the head cut off. Okay? You have to make sure that you find stability for you to be able to focus in the right way to pursue something. And I do not see a lot of people talking about this. So slow down a little bit, baja unos cambios, and try to get stable. And once you find stability, then you can just try to find, or then you can just put all your effort into the direction that you should go, and then press the accelerator. So yes, guys, we live in very unstable moments, but the only way you're going to be able to move in the right direction is with clarity and stability. And after that, yes, try to rush as much as you can. So if you want to see the last video that I did about all the knowledge that you have in your head and how to be able to monetize that, go to the video that I'm going to be putting over here. I'm still offering consulting and coaching programs, link in the description. Make sure you also get the PDF where I expose my workflows, my tools, and a lot of different aspects of my business that is just going to help you how you can do something similar for yourself as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you at the next video.